A name synonymous with aviation is Rolls-Royce, and to talk sustainability with us is Chris Cholerton. Now, it's great to have you here at an air show before we go on to the broader topic, but what's it like to be back?
Well, thanks, Brendan. It's great to be back connecting with customers and connecting with partners in this region. It's the first really major air show since the pandemic. So it's a very important region for us. We power all the major airlines in this region. And the conversations are very much about the optimism as we see recovery in the industry as borders start to open up, and also about sustainability.
Now, talking about people being back in the flesh, what particularly draws you to these events, and what is the significance of getting face-to-face? Because we've had Zoom and other sort of apps that we've used for the last year or so.
Yeah, we've all got very used to Zoom and other calls, but I think there's nothing like actually doing business face-to-face and being able to really talk through what's on people's minds, their vision for the future, particularly at a time of great change. And we've got the change in the industry post-COVID, but also changes being driven by the drive to net zero. I think it's very valuable to be face-to-face.
Now, talk about sustainability then, because it is something, it's a hot topic, particularly in light of what's been going on in the last few weeks with COP26. So what do we do with sustainability and being green and going for the future with aviation? Where are we standing right now?
Yeah, at Rolls-Royce, we've placed it very much at the heart of our strategy as a group, not just in the aerospace side, but across our power systems business too. We see it as an opportunity. We're a technology company, and the technology changes are going to be central to the drive to net zero. So we very much see ourselves as part of the solution. And there are three main pillars to our strategy in the aviation sector. One is to drive ever more efficient gas turbines. Because for any aircraft flying a long way with lots of passengers, we're going to be powered by gas turbines for a long, long time. And so to that end, next year we'll run for the first time our next generation of aero engine called the Ultrafan, which is an architectural change, which will be the family of engines beyond our Trent engines, which has a 25% improvement in fuel efficiency relative to the first generation of Trent. Secondly, we're promoting and testing and demonstrating sustainable aviation fuels, because those gas turbines in the future are going to need to run on sustainable aviation fuels. And here we're testing engines both on the ground and in the air to demonstrate compatibility of our engines with 100% sustainable aviation fuel. We recently flew our Trent 1000 on our flying test bed. We've tested the Trent XWB, we've tested our business jet engines. So by the time that the COP28 is here in Dubai in 2023, we'll have met our commitment to demonstrate compatibility with all our modern engines of 100% and all our Trent engines of 100% sustainable aviation fuel. And then it's very much about influencing policy of governments to ramp up production of that sustainable fuel. And the third pillar of our strategy is more disruptive technologies such as electric power for aviation, hybrid electric power, and indeed hydrogen. And here again, we've got real demonstrations in progress. On electrification, we're currently flying a single-seat aircraft to try and set a new world speed record for an electric aircraft. Very nice to set records, but it's very much about demonstrating the battery technology, the power electronics, the management of the battery, and the system integration, which can then be applied to other markets like the urban air mobility market, where we're working with vertical aerospace.
When it comes to aviation and I suppose technology as a whole, everyone looks at electrified and things like this. You mentioned fuels and different fuel types, with synthetic fuels as opposed to fossil fuel. How much of a challenge is it for someone like Rolls-Royce and other brands to be able to navigate through this?
It is a challenge. It's not going to be easy to decarbonise aviation, but then aviation's got a very good track record of tackling difficult challenges. And as I said, we very much see ourselves as part of the solution, being a technology and engineering company. On sustainable fuel referred to, I think as I said, we'll have demonstrated that our engines can be compatible with 100% fuel by 2023. So then it's very much about how we, with partners in the industry, and influence policy so that we can ramp up the production. The industry needs 400 times the amount of SAF that's produced today to meet a 10% mandate by 2030, and then we've got to go beyond that. So yeah, part of our solutions might help that, like I've mentioned with the small modular reactor, but it's I think demonstrating that our engines can be compatible with that fuel is an important step in stimulating demand.
Lastly, when it comes to the backdrop, this COVID backdrop we're currently in, has that really had a huge impact with hindering the development of these different, shall we say, methodology of flying aircraft with engine development as well? Or is it helped the process because it's enabled you to step back and maybe concentrate your minds?
Yeah, I think through the pandemic, clearly airlines have been focused on surviving, first of all, and we've had to go through a large restructuring ourselves to scale ourselves to the new lower demand that we've seen. And so we've worked very closely with customers through this period to enable that. But another change through the pandemic period has been the mindset about sustainability. It was always a conversation pre-COVID, but it's now very much more to the fore, and the commitments are getting very much more real. And I think the urgency and the need to deliver tangible results is pervading the industry. And the IATA AGM recently in Boston confirmed that with a resolution to commit to net zero by 2050. So that conversation has certainly changed in tone and leads to all the opportunities I've just described.
It's exciting times, tough times, but exciting times, Chris. Thank you very much.
Thank you.